let's talk about the big thing that's also hit in regards to Marvel TV and all of Marvel Studios' TV division.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't know what they were doing. That's what's come out. Like,
No, they're trying to run a TV division like a movie department, and literally no one knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
Like, isn't it like when the thing came out, it was like they had like no actual showrunners or like.
Oh yeah, well, this is the thing, right? We knew that they didn't have any showrunners. We knew they weren't going to be, or they aren't going that direction, because that came out when they first announced these TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not having a showrunner; they're having producers like a movie, and they're going to run like that. There's going to be no pilots. There's going to be no like Bibles for these shows.
Because, like when you hear that, and it's like, so like you don't have any technical like guidelines of what this show is like aiming for or going to be. It's just
they were literally flying by the bootstraps. It's thinking they can just make a 6-hour movie
and also
cut out into episodes.
This is why whatchamacallit, they even said like the reason why She-Hulk or like Loki and or WandaVision was like so much of a success, because they had like head writers and whatnot. Like everything else was like free game.
Right. Yeah. So it's like it sounds like the initial crop of handful of shows, the ones that are really good, were literally like, yeah, let's do it this way. And then oversight was kind of taken away, and they're like, we're just going to make all this like films. It's like, but TV doesn't work like film. That's the thing. Like,
no consistency of writers too, which we talked about last pod too. Is like none of these series have like a coherent, like one episode could be really good by like, I don't know, Taika Waititi, and then they get random dude from Bar.
Yeah.
Episode.
You said that's how TV works, though, right? Like TV has different directors, different episodes.
It is, but that isn't like that's kind of like what Ricardo just said. Last time we learned is they ask for a minimum, and sometimes these studios don't even give a minimum. And from what we know from Marvel Studios, Secret Invasion literally was, I mean, directors quit, walked away, like. From the ground up, that show was a mess, and it sounds like Moon Knight also suffered a bit of the same thing, where one of the showrunners and writers literally left halfway through. He just quit. Was like, I'm done. I can't do this. Like,
which is funny because you get like Oscar Isaac coming out here being like, "This is that's the most proud thing he's ever made."
Yeah. That's. I don't know.
Give me Moon Knight too, please. I need it.
Yeah, it's. This whole thing has revealed something in the Marvel Studios system, which I've been arguing this for the better part of like 5 years now. Marvel Studios cannot look at TV on the same level as film. That just does not work, and that's what's led to all the stations figuring out it can't work. The old model, which was, for better or for worse, whether you liked it or not, Cloak and Dagger, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Runaways, the Netflix series, they were done with a specific goal and budget in mind that you had to adhere to. Again, for better or for worse, like, but every episode didn't cost $50 million. They cost $5, max of 10 for a bigger budget finale. Like, they need to find a balance of that.
Yeah,
but on the flip side with that, just before, I'll let Tristan talk after, sorry. But if you have Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was like 20 episodes.
Yeah.
So the budget's going to be smaller. You can have the same budget but have 8 episodes.
True, yeah.
So then you're going to have
actual
like 10,
TV length. Oh my god, can you believe it? Maybe Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. wasn't as bad as I thought.
It's just weird because like how you've been saying that they weren't made for or weren't shooting it like a TV show or shooting it like a movie where we're gonna make it a movie style and it was gonna be 6 hours that we're just gonna chop it up and there you go, instead of having the usual like 1 or 2 season episodes, which would probably be around 8 to 13 episodes depending on if they give the writers enough time to actually write and not just make what happened in the Arrowverse, and that's what I hope that they finally figured all this out after the writers won and like pleaded, saying that this is what we need to make these better and not just making content for the sake of making content, because for better, that Marvel prided themselves on having quality movies and they want quality TV shows at the same time, not just throwing things out because it just has the brand, people will watch it anyway, and we see that people they trust the brand because of its quality, and that's what it should be at the end of the day. Is not looking at the short-term gain, looking at the long-term gain.
Right.
Yeah. Because I think they've said they're now going to do pilots. They're going to have showrunners. They're going to have the minimum staffing requirements because that's now part of the WGA contracts.
And was it no more limited series anymore either. So.
Oh, that's
no. I think, or at least the way they said that was more a case of they're not going to go in thinking they're just going to make a limited series. There's going to be like a clear-cut goal.
Right.
So you could have like a season 2.
Yeah.
But obviously, we can get season 2s because we've got Loki on right now, but that's more the aim. And there's actually going to be it's not going to be just a random like She-Hulk, Miss Marvel, Moon Knight. Like, you're not just going to have these random characters having shows. There's going to be an actual structure like the movies going into whatever's the whole narrative for the MCU is going to be.
Right.
That's the impression I got anyway.
That's exactly kind of what I got from it too as well. So like, I don't know. It's kind of an up and down situation in my opinion. Like, they at least figured out what they need to do to get things back on order, right?
Yeah. Well, the writer, they actually, listen to writers and
yeah.
Them.
Which again, at the core of it, Marvel Studios has had this major problem, which let's hope they fix and take care of, and things turn out good for them. I guess that's kind of what I want to say. So, anything else to add to this before we end it?
I can't wait for real TV shows.
I think even with all this, people, there's going to be a whole bunch of people online being like, oh, but everyone liked this and didn't like that, and everyone's going to hate all these shows. Like, you can like the shows that they gave you while acknowledging that they probably weren't run the best.
Yeah.
They could have been better. So
yeah. Stuff like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, right? That wasn't necessarily bad because of how they ran it. That was disjointed because of COVID, right? There are external factors in that one, but you get stuff like a WandaVision and a Loki, and like a She-Hulk's divisive, but I enjoyed it. But you need to you still had shows like that. Like, people still enjoyed those.
Also,
sorts of shows.
read all the reports. Apparently, the production of She-Hulk and Echo was the smoothest and best out of all of them. Like, everybody was getting along and happy.
I mean, Loki didn't even do reshoots, so I don't believe it's just that.
Oh, I mean, Loki, apparently they know exactly what they want to shoot, which is like, that's real good.
Which is nuts. I don't get how Loki slipped this net twice.
Yeah.
But even the second episode was good. I was like, what's happening? MCU back? I can't believe it.
I mean, Loki back. Like, it's fine.
Yeah.
I still find it wild. It's like I had no interest in this show.
Same. It was on all of our lists at the least interested, like at the bottom.
Half of the reason why I was at the bottom because I was out of spite that everyone had WandaVision on the bottom of theirs. I'm like, no, Loki sucks.
Yeah.
But hey, here we are. What a funny old timeline.
What a funny time it is.